Hey everybody, it's Christina from Creations with Christina, and I'm making some treat bags for my nieces and nephews for Easter, to give to them when we see them for Easter dinner. So I wanted to show you how I put these together. I'm not going to show you how I cut them on the Cricut, but I wanted to show you how I set it up on my Gypsy. So let me just zoom in here and I'll show you. I'm using a gift bag from the Sweet Treats Cricut cartridge, and I'm just going to go ahead and click on that cartridge. And the one I'm using is on page 60 of the manual, and it's with the, I think it's Hip Hip Hooray. Yeah, Hip Hip Hooray. So we're using the Party Favors feature and this bag right here. I already have that added to my mat, and I'm going to cut this out at 3 inches. So this is long as I can put it onto my mat. And then I also am going to cut out from the Doodle Charms Cricut cartridge. I'm going to just go ahead and show you that one. And this is, you know, one of those oldie but goodie cartridges. I'm just going to cut out this bunny rabbit right here. And what I did with this one is, and I'll zoom in, I hid the whiskers and the mouth, and I'm just going to draw them in with my with a marker. And I'm also cutting out the little nose. So I have 6 of those added to my mat because I need to make 6 bags, and then I have 6 little noses. So I cut the bunny heads out in white, and I cut the noses out in brown. So let's go ahead and I'll show you how I'm putting the bag together. Okay, so I have my scoreboard out, and I cut out my my little box in a pink cardstock, and this is actually Coordinations Canvas cardstock. I got it at Joann's, and I'm just going to go ahead and do all my score lines. So I'm just lining up the little tick marks that it cuts out right on one of my edges here and doing my score, and then I'll do that for the rest of the other score lines. Okay, so let me just move my scoreboard here. And I'm going to go ahead and just fold on my score lines. And you're going to, let me get my bone folder out here. And then I'm going to do my side score lines here. I've got 2 more. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is just add some adhesive right to the flap, this little flap on the end here. And then I'm going to fold over my box and just adhere it closed. Now you don't have to, but if you want to, you can add adhesive to the bottom. But these fold in nice and are pretty sturdy. So what you're going to do is take this one that's got the little notch cut out, and that goes down first. And then these 2 side ones just pop right into that notch that's cut out. And then your last one just goes in like that. Okay, so that's our box. For my handle, I'm just using some of this this little ribbon right here, and I already have one in cut at an angle so I can feed it through a little easier. So I'm just going to feed that through, and I'm going to tie a little knot on the end. Like that. And then I'm just going to measure and see how long I want my handle, and then I'll just go ahead and cut my other end of my ribbon at an angle and feed that through the other hole. And I'll just tie this end in a knot too. Okay, so that is our box. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is work on my bunny. And I already went ahead and added my little eyes in my mouth. And I'm going to go ahead and add my little nose, and it's very, very, very tiny. So we're going to go ahead and add that on. So I'm just going to take my 2-way glue pen and just add a little glue right to our bunny rabbit. And then I'm going to use my quick stick to pick up my piece. Alright, so that is my bunny rabbit's nose. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use a Copic marker, and I'm using C3. And all I'm doing is just using that to create a nice little shadow around my bunny rabbit here. So it just gives our bunny rabbit a little dimension. There. And now what I'm going to do is take, this is a Stampin' Up! Blender pen. I think Michaels also sells one that's called, it's a Dove pen. But I'm going to use this with some Spun Sugar Distress ink. And I'm going to go ahead and just use a little piece of scrap paper because I don't want it to be too heavy in color. And just create my little ears. We'll also do some cheeks here. Okay, so that is that. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece of scrap paper since I have it sitting here, and I'm going to punch out using, this is the Stampin' Up! Modern Label Punch. So I'm just going to punch out a little tag there. And I'm going to take this Happy Spring stamp that is from Papertrey Ink, and then use some dark chocolate, or not dark chocolate, the chocolate chip Stampin' Up! Ink. And I'm just going to stamp in the center of this Happy Spring. And I want to use the side that's not textured, since I was using a textured white cardstock there. Okay, so that just says Happy Spring. And now what I'm going to do is just go ahead and start putting this all together. I'm going to use these are pretty thick. They're thicker than Stampin' Up's Dimensionals. These are pop adhesive. And I'm just going to go ahead and stick those. I'm going to put one on the bigger one in the center of the bunny, and then the smaller ones on the ears. And I'll just peel off the backing here. And then that's going to go right here on the front of my box. And then I'm going to take my label, and I'm just going to use these little itsy bitsy tiny glue dots. I'm going to put one of them on each end. Just going to go ahead and here, well, what I want to do first is actually just kind of roll it a little bit. And you can even use your bone folders to help get that curve. I kind of bent this one in half. So it has a little bit of a curve to it. And I'm just going to go ahead and adhere one end and then kind of push it and adhere down the other end. So it kind of pops up a little bit. Okay, so that is our box. And then you can add your treats. I have this one and I added some little Easter grass and some treats to the inside. So, alright, that's our project for today. Thanks for watching another episode of Creations with Christina. See you next time. Bye! I forgot to do one thing. I forgot to add my little whiskers to my bunny rabbit. I just realized that. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just using a Sharpie pen, and I'm just going to lightly draw those on. So, alright, that's our project for today, everybody. Thanks for watching another episode of Creations with Christina. Bye!
you.